Have you ever wondered why you keep repeating patterns you consciously want to break? The answer lies not in a failure of willpower, but in the profound disconnection between what your conscious mind knows and what your unconscious mind believes. A gap that, when bridged, could transform your entire experience of being human. This disconnection manifests in countless ways in our daily lives. Consider the person who intellectually understands they deserve love, yet sabotages every promising relationship, or the professional who consciously desires success, but undermines opportunities at critical moments through self-sabotage. These aren't character flaws. They're symptoms of internal fragmentation, where conscious intentions and unconscious programming work at cross-purposes. Psychologist Carl Jung called this phenomenon psychic splitting, describing it as a state where aspects of ourselves remain separated from conscious awareness, creating internal conflicts that manifest as psychological distress. Modern researchers have validated Jung's insights, showing that many psychological disorders stem from this disconnection. Trauma researcher Bessel van der Kolk explains, "The body keeps the score. The physical effects of psychological trauma often manifest as seemingly inexplicable symptoms when the original experiences remain unintegrated." Take Sarah, a talented writer who repeatedly abandons projects just before completion. Despite her conscious desire for creative fulfillment, an unconscious belief formed in childhood that success brings unwanted attention and criticism drives her to protect herself through abandonment. Only when she recognized this pattern and began working with her unconscious protective mechanisms did she finally complete her first novel, integrating her desire for creative expression with her need for emotional safety. This disconnection creates what neuroscientist Stephen Porges terms neuroception, unconscious threat detection that can become chronically activated. When these systems misfire due to unintegrated experiences, we find ourselves in constant fight-or-flight mode, experiencing anxiety or irritability without understanding why. The rational mind says we're safe, but unconscious processes continue responding as if we're in danger. Clinical psychologist Marsha Linehan observed that logical understanding alone rarely leads to psychological change. Emotional learning must occur at deeper levels. She noted, people with overwhelming emotions are often told to use reason, but this advice assumes these systems are already integrated. Most psychological suffering occurs precisely because they aren't. Relationship researcher John Gottman's studies reveal that 69% of recurring relationship conflicts stem from unintegrated emotional material rather than surface issues. When unconscious triggers activate old wounds, partners react to historical pain rather than present circumstances, creating cycles of misunderstanding that can last decades. The promising news is that integration creates measurable changes in neural pathways associated with emotional regulation. Research by Richard Lane demonstrates that participants who developed awareness of previously unconscious emotional responses showed significant reductions in anxiety and depression compared to control groups. Among effective approaches to integration, internal family systems therapy offers a particularly powerful framework. Developed by Richard Schwartz, IFS recognizes psychological symptoms as protective adaptations, parts of ourselves trying to manage overwhelming experiences. Schwartz explains, by approaching these parts with curiosity rather than judgment, we can help them update their strategies and integrate their wisdom into our conscious awareness. While many therapeutic traditions offer paths to integration, from psychoanalysis to cognitive behavioral therapy to somatic approaches, they share a common understanding that healing occurs through relationship with previously disconnected aspects of ourselves. Pat Ogden, developer of sensorimotor psychotherapy, notes, the body is the primary canvas on which traumatic experience is painted. Integration requires working with these physical patterns, not just cognitive understanding. Jung's concept of shadow work, facing disowned aspects of ourselves, represents another path to integration. By consciously exploring aspects of ourselves we've rejected or denied, we reclaim vital energy and wisdom previously lost to us. Mindfulness practices serve integration purposes by creating space to notice unconscious patterns as they arise. Jon Kabat-Zinn describes mindfulness as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. This quality of attention allows us to respond differently rather than reacting automatically to triggering situations. What these diverse approaches share is a central premise. Psychological wholeness comes from bringing all parts of ourselves into relationship with conscious awareness. Integration doesn't mean achieving perfect internal harmony. Rather, it means developing the capacity to hold all aspects of your experience in awareness, even when they seem contradictory or uncomfortable. The neuroscience confirms why this matters. Interpersonal neurobiologist Dan Siegel explains that integration, connecting differentiated parts of the brain and mind, is the biological basis of well-being. The absence of integration leads to chaos or rigidity, the hallmarks of most mental suffering. When we facilitate integration, we create the conditions for natural healing. This perspective shifts how we understand personal development. Instead of focusing primarily on achievement or positive thinking, integration invites us to expand our capacity to be with all aspects of our experience. Paradoxically, by turning toward our fragmented parts rather than trying to transcend them, we discover a more authentic wholeness. The benefits extend beyond symptom reduction. People who engage in integration practices report greater creativity, more fulfilling relationships, and an expanded sense of possibility. By accessing previously unconscious resources, they find themselves making choices aligned with deeper values rather than reactive patterns. What appears as transformation is actually a return to our natural state of wholeness that was fragmented by difficult experiences. We've come to the end of our journey through the hidden landscape of your mind. What began as an exploration of brain functions has revealed something far more profound: the very foundation of your identity and reality itself. This invisible operating system creates the world you inhabit. The power lies in transforming your relationship with yourself. Each moment reveals your unconscious mind at work. That intuition, judgment, or emotional reaction offers glimpses into your deeper self. By noticing these moments, you create space between stimulus and response. This is true freedom. The path forward is collaboration, not control.